Thanks for joining us this morning.
Very welcome.
Rough week last week, lost at home in the non-conference to Trevecca Nazarene, and then traveled to Mount Olive on Saturday, a long road trip from Bristol. It kind of, a couple losses. Kind of the season has gone up and down, kind of like a roller coaster. Win a few in a row, drop a couple, win a couple in a row, and then again lose 2 in a row like this week. How can you find that level of consistency to kind of maybe even those out going forward as we go down the stretch of the season here?
Yeah, it's been a brutal week, there's no other way to put it. Coming off of the win at Belmont Abbey and then North Greenville, I think the girls felt a bit invincible, and we try to keep their feet on the ground, but unfortunately, we just didn't show up against Trevecca. When you outshoot an opponent 12-3 and they end up scoring 2 goals, just that can't happen. And we were just very, very flat, and just a lot of players didn't step up when they needed to. And unfortunately, the same kind of happened against Mount Olive. Mount Olive were a wounded animal from us from last year. We ended their season. We beat them 5-1 here. So I know it was lingering, especially with the coaching staff, and I'm sure they let their players know. And we tried to inform our players about it, but I was just watching game tape there of the game. We dominated large portions of the game, but I think if I can get my stats right, we've outshot the last 2 teams. I think we've outshot them 29-18 combined in the last 2 games, almost double. And we concede 4 goals and don't score any. So, we sat here a couple of weeks ago and spoke about, we need to concede less and score more. Well, we're not doing it. And so we're going to have to make some changes for Wednesday's game. You talked about consistency. It's up to each individual player, to take a bit of responsibility, and whether it's doing a bit of extra work outside of training or whatever it is, but we're not seeing that in a lot of our players, and I think there's a bit of complacency there, and I'm hoping that these next 2 games are going to be vital, because I believe if we don't get results in the next 2 games, I think a fourth place finish or above could be out of our reach, so. And that was one of our goals from the start of the season, was a 4th place finish or above, so we could have that home field advantage. So next couple of games are vital, but there's going to be some changes made on Wednesday for our players. So we'll see kind of what we have on the team then as far as characters, if we have players that are in it for the team, like they say they are, or if they're not. So,
this week was also kind of rough with weather too. Before Monday's game, it was raining here in Bristol, and then some lightning in Mount Olive. How did that maybe affect the game in small portions, large portions, and how can you learn from that going forward and use that as a teaching point going forward?
Yeah, I don't think it's any factor. We played Brevard here the first game of the season, and we were delayed for, I want to say, 2 hours or something. We sat around for 2 hours, and we got out, and we had one of the best performances. I think we won 5-0. So I don't think it had anything to do with it. Both teams have to struggle through it and have to push through it and deal with it. So. I just think it's one of these things where individually players are just much more capable of what they're showing the last 2 games, and I don't know if they're trying just that bit too hard or being afraid to fail, and they shouldn't be afraid to fail, because mistakes are going to happen, and once players are doing what they're supposed to be doing, everything else takes care of itself, but we definitely have some players that are underachieving right now, and we need to stop that. So.
Yeah, you mentioned the week upcoming, kind of limited here, another big week. Yeah. Last time that happened, you came and played Belmont Abbey, preseason favorite, preseason ranked, and then beat them pretty soundly. And then same thing this week, except you're going on the road at Pfeiffer and Limestone, who are both near the top of the conference. What are some of the keys to playing well again this week against the conference foes?
Yeah, Monday's game, again, not trying to go back, Monday's game was vital because of the Mount Olive game, just to get that bit of momentum. Mount Olive game was important because for me it was the start of 3 incredibly tough away games. Mount Olive, Limestone, Pfeiffer. Limestone, I know the coach, he's a great guy, and they're very well coached. They play on turf and stuff we're not used to. So they've got 2 players up front that are special players, and when they're on, they're on. And we have to make sure that we come out and we're up for the challenge, and as simple as that. We talk tactics a lot and everything with our players, but if we're not going to win the individual battles and overachieve, we're not going to do anything. And then Pfeiffer away won the conference championship last year, you know. So again, an extremely tough team. I've watched both teams playing on video right now, and yeah, they're going to be they're going to be really, really tough. So like I said, we need some kind of a result this week against them, whether it's a tie or a win. We need something to keep our season alive, you know.
And maybe a little extra motivation, being a conference tournament ended for King last year at Pfeiffer.
Absolutely, and I thought they were hands down the best team in the conference last year. They came and just wiped the floor with us down here. And again, that's just a bit of honesty. They were very impressive. And when we went down there to them then in the semi-final of the conference, we were up for the challenge somewhat, but again, they were impressive. You know, they were a better team than us. Kind of like the last couple of games. Both teams, Mount Olive on the night were a better team. Trevecca on the day were a better team than we were. And it's hard to swallow as a coach when that happens, you know, because if we weren't as talented as we are, and if I didn't think we could go as far as we could go this year, it wouldn't be a problem. We wouldn't be, you know, I wouldn't be so stressed out and so, you know, panicking about what was going on. We're talented, and this is the best chance we've had in my 4 years here to win a conference championship, no doubt, you know. It's the best group of players I've put together, but we just seem to have lost our little swagger or a little way about us we had at the start of the season. So like, it's there, you know, it's not like we're trying to beat a dead horse, it's there, you know, so we just need to rediscover that again. So.
Yeah, again, that's Limestone on Wednesday night, and then Pfeiffer on Saturday. They're both down in South Carolina and North Carolina.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, Coach, and good luck on the road this week.
Thank you.